that seemed natural and probably is very natural after these things happen is that the teenagers have a lot of questions. Questions about why and where is our friend and what is happening now and what do we believe as Christians. One of the things I felt necessary to do is the Wednesday following the funeral is to just change that Wednesday. And so I just invited the students to come in, and we began by sharing stories and talking and processing everything that had happened the previous week, from the visitation to the funeral. But then I invited them to take cards, and I handed them each a card, and to fill out what questions they had, what they were wrestling with, and some of the big God questions, the whys, the whats. But I had the sense then that it was too soon to answer those questions. I felt like in that immediate months following that, it was more about them being heard and their questions being heard. I even got the sense that most of the students didn't really want answers to those questions, but they wanted someone just to talk to and just to voice those questions. And so it wasn't until 5 months later that we took a whole month and used our youth group series to focus on questions about life and death. And I had kept those cards, and I used those cards to build in the responses and the weeks of messages and speaking to the teens. And so in the immediate context, what we really tried to do is just listen to the questions and then give space and time until we could answer those questions. So from that first Wednesday where we talked about our friend's death and processed and the students wrote down questions, I had the sense that we needed to return to somewhat of a normal Wednesday schedule. We all knew that the loss had happened, but we had several students that were new to the ministry, several 7th grade students that had just come. It was their first Wednesday in the youth ministry. We had several brand new youth leaders, and so for them, the process was much different. And so for those 5 months, we often would have a normal youth group. But when the key moments that happened, such as his birthday and then Christmas, we would take time to remember together. And so for the most part, those Wednesdays were very similar to what they had been before. And we gave space and time to the teens. One of the particular reasons for that is that I felt that with the teens being so emotional, some of them, if we continued to put our energy and time as a group into that each week, as a whole group, it may do more damage than good. And so I was trying to calm the emotions down while still recognizing that they were there, but give time and space for those emotions to begin to settle before we really encountered and wrestled with some of the theologically profound questions that the students had.